Hello and welcome to another edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show, brought to you by our friends at Stokes Mazda. And we're coming to you from Stokes Mazda on Ashley Phosphate in North Charleston. They sponsor our Kick to Win competition at halftime of every game, where you can win a new car for the next year, or if you're 17 and younger, you can win $1,000. So thank you to Stokes Mazda for their support of Fort Dorchester football. I'm the voice of the Patriots, Richard Todd, here with head varsity football coach Sean Lorenzano as we talk about the Fort Dorchester game at South Florence. And you know, it was Friday the 13th. Mm-hmm. Maybe that has something to do with it. You have you got a long road trip up there anyway,
right?
And then you get there, and the team didn't seem to get off the bus, did they?
Friday the 13th, I think a black cat crossed across the bus, and we walked under a ladder. So I'm not sure all that matters, but yeah, it was a rough one. It was a rough one.
It was 15-0 at the end of the first quarter, South Florence, after they got a 15-yard touchdown run and a 53-yard touchdown pass. Just what was the difference in Fort Dorchester this week and in the 3 previous weeks?
I think it comes down to mental preparedness. I think we just, I don't know if we even got off the bus, to be honest with you. It was rough. We weren't as physical as we've been. We weren't as mentally ready. You're going to go up and you're going to face one of the top teams in the state. We have to be mentally ready. You know what I mean? And as far as, getting up there and battling, and we battled for 3 weeks. I mean, we've battled. We didn't have a ton of fight to the finish that we've had in the past few games. So I would say that was the biggest difference. And, hats off to South Florence. They run a great program. They're very disciplined in what they do. I thought they had a good game plan. We've just got to get better day by day. We've got to get better as players. We've got to get better as coaches, and I take that very serious, and I take that responsibility to get us back on track.
It was 15-0 at the end of the first quarter. South Florence would put the ball in the end zone 4 times in the second quarter to make it 43-0. So let's just talk about the two sides of the ball. First of all, our defense was having a tough time containing them when they had a 35-yard, 46-yard touchdown pass. The defense was having a hard time slowing them down.
Right, and I think the continuity between the offense and D, I think we feed off each other. We know they have our back. The defense knows they have the offense back. The offense knows they have defense back. And once the defense kind of just started to kind of look shaky, I think it just kind of, again, mental toughness. It just kind of went from there, where before, hey, the defense is going to do this, we're going to do this. We're going to get their back. So I think it was just, that kind of, I think that played into it as well.
And we talked about that in the past, about never stop fighting, never stop believing, see it through.
Right.
The fact that the defense couldn't slow them down, you felt that had sort of an effect on the offense as far as momentum and yards. The offense for the game had a total of about 203 yards or so for the game.
Right.
And just the feeding off of one another once the offense was getting behind, couldn't put together a sustained drive and put any points there in that first half.
Right. It was. We got things cooking a little bit at the end of the first half. We had a good drive right at the end before the half. We decided to kick a field goal. We didn't make the field goal, and then we didn't have a lot of time on the clock. So we worked on our passing game. Kevin did well. Our receivers did well. We worked on our goal line packages, our short yardage packages, and we ran that, and we did that well. So there was some takeaways, but when you get in that situation, we had to work on some things, and we second half was just working on some things.
The Patriots with 183 yards total passing, 54 yards rushing. Let's talk about the third quarter, because in the second half, Michael Wortham with a couple of touchdowns, a 1-yard and a 10-yard touchdown run to make that score 43-14, which is what the score would be until the very last seconds of the game, when South Florence got a late touchdown to make it 49-14 is the final score. But seeing Michael Wortham put the ball in there a couple of times.
Yeah, Michael's done a really good job for us. I think he scored in almost every single game. He's done a real good job. He kind of comes in that goal line package and runs the ball for us a little bit. But he had some good numbers receiving as well. He caught a big, I think it was like a 36-yard pass to put us down in the red zone, and then we fed him the ball when we got down to the goal line. So Yeah, he's really stepping up. He's doing a good job, in his role and stepping up as a leader. And he's young and he's doing a good job. Very proud of him.
Well, we've talked about the fact that this is a young team as a whole, just with not that many returning starters from last year. Let's mention a few names on defense. Savon Garrett, 9 tackles, 1 for a loss. Jackson King, 4 tackles, 1 for a loss. Jaden Peterson with 5 tackles. So you got some of these names that keep popping up each week that are some real players up front for you.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Savon's kind of all over the field right now. He's doing good. Jackson's a mainstay again, and a guy that's a younger guy that's kind of rising up is Jaden Peterson. He's stepped up ever since we've had some injuries on the interior, and he's done a good job filling in and making some plays. So those guys, they're going to be all right. And I think as a group and as a team, we're going to be fine. I think sometimes you got to go through these lessons. You got to go through this fire to sharpen you, man. We've got to go through this fire to make sure that we can battle against tougher teams and battle out of our element. We out of the low country. We went up to South Florence. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different beast. That's what it's going to be like come playoffs. And the sooner we face these different adversities, the stronger we're going to get. And I think this only makes us stronger. It exposes some of our weaknesses, and we're gonna focus on those and just get better at everything we need to get better at.
For people who are wondering, when you're trailing 43-0 at halftime and you lose the game 49-14, does that ramp up the intensity of practice the following week?
Well, we're in a bye week right now.
Yep.
So we had a plan for bye week, but yes, we're going to focus a little bit more on those weaknesses. Like today's practice was really, I wouldn't say intense, but it was focused on certain things that we saw that we need to get better at. So, so we're picking and choosing. Tomorrow we'll have a full practice with a scrimmage, and you'll see it then. Yeah. So.
Well, you mentioned that we're in a bye week, 3-1 heading into the bye week. What's your coaching philosophy? Some coaches like that bye week coming off a loss because it gives you more time to work on it. Others hate that bye week coming off a loss because you have to chew on that loss for an extra week before you can get back on the field and try to wash that taste out of your mouth or whatever. What's your philosophy on that?
I think I could go either way if it was a different situation, but right now I think we needed to work on some things, and I think having this extra week of practice and getting mentally ready and prepared and getting physically ready, getting physically healed up again, I think we needed this. So at this point, this was a good time for us to have this bye week.
All right, so it's probably a good time for the bye week for the Patriots. Now, the next game you have is going to be at White Knoll. That game on the 27th. We played at White Knoll in the playoffs last year. White Knoll handled us very easily in the playoffs, and White Knoll actually went all the way to the state championship, only to lose to Dutch Fork in the championship game. That's another tough one on the road in the Midlands against a good team.
Right. They are a good team. We watch it on film. They're very disciplined, a lot like South Florence that was too. This is going to be about us perfecting our craft. You know what I mean? If we can execute and we can bring our brand of football on the road with us up there, and we can come up with our brand of football, our style of football, our physicality, our mental toughness, we're going to be successful. But we can't go up there and get dictated to, and let them kind of control our mindsets. We've got to come, and if it's going to be a fight and a dog fight, no matter what, but we've got to again give ourselves a leg up when we come mentally prepared.
Are you a believer in that saying about you learn more from your losses than your victories?
I believe so, yeah.
Because you learned a lot in this past week.
Yeah, what was it Mike Tyson said? I don't know if it's Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali. Everybody's got a plan to get punched in the mouth, and when you face adversity, how are you going to battle back? How are you going to battle back? What's your plan after you get hit and that stings your nose, and you got to get back to fighting, or you're going to go down. So that's my philosophy on that. Like we face some adversity. Let's battle back. Everybody in life faces adversity, man. If we're not teaching these kids something now about adversity, man, what are we doing? They're going to face way worse adversity. They're going to face people in their life passing away. They're going to face hungry children. They're going to face job losses. They're going to face all this stuff. And this, really, this is the kind of stuff that's why I love football. This is the kind of stuff that makes you mentally tough and ready to go through life, man. To go through life.
Lessons.
If you can learn these lessons now and overcome adversity, you're going to be that much better a man, a husband. You're going to be that much better a community leader. So that's that's my takeaway. You know.
Well, 49-14 was the final score. Now we've got the bye week with a 3-1 record. Then we'll have 6 games, 1 at White Knoll. The last 5 games of the year, all region games, and that's really where the focus is to try to win the region.
Yeah, it's all bunched in there like that, and I kind of like it like that because you can take the first half of the year and really test yourselves, and I think we had a good mix. I think we've had some good local low country teams and some wins here, and we figured out who we are and how we're going to play, and then we're going up to we went up to South Florence, we're going up to to White Knoll, who are traditionally good playoff teams and strong teams around the state, and then we're going to come back with all that knowledge and experience of what we did wrong, what we did right, and how are we going to finish this season out the last 5 in region play. So
yep, at White Knoll on the 27th and at Ashley Ridge on October the 4th, and definitely want you to come out to support the Patriots at Ashley Ridge for that first region game of the year. Our next home game is Friday, October the 11th, hosting the West Ashley Wildcats. That's going to be Hall of Fame night as we induct the class of 2024 in the Fort Dorchester Athletic Hall of Fame. Now remember, when your Patriots are on the road, you can listen to them on the road. Remember, just go to Fort Dorchester Sports Radio on Facebook or FD Sports Radio on X, formerly Twitter, or you can look it up at FDHSathletics.mixler.com. That's FDHSathletics.mixlr.com. You can listen to every Fort Dorchester game at home or when they're on the road. And again, a big thank you to Stokes Mazda for hosting this program, for being a big supporter of Fort Dorchester football. Coach, enjoyed the bye week. 3-1 heading into it, and then at White Knoll, we look forward to the second half of the season already. Hard to say that, hard to believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be a great fall at Steve LaPratt Field at Bagwell Stadium. We hope to see you out there, and we thank you for watching this edition of the Fort Dorchester High School Coaches Show.